Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a glam polish haul. I picked up the Magical Creatures collection. They were doing 10% off kind of pre-sale if you picked up the entire collection before it officially launched. So I decided to go ahead and pick up all 10 polishes. I was really drawn to this particular polish because I quite honestly don't have anything like these in my collection. Glam polish is normally known for their glitter polishes, but they decided to do kind of like an opalescent glitter collection. I am going to be showing you guys bottle shots, live application, and swatches of every single one of these polishes. So let's go ahead and get started. The very first polish is called Much More Than Meets the Eye, and this is kind of like a dusty, like purplish gray base with a whole bunch of those opalescent glitters and flakies in there. With this colored base, I feel that the red shift, like that kind of like burnt reddish orangish shift is very, very apparent. You're also going to be able to see a little bit of like a yellowish greenish shift to it as well. I kind of enjoy like the dustiness of this particular color. This was fully opaque in 2 to 3 coats. I think this was fully opaque in 2 coats, but if you wanted to intensify that base a little bit, I would suggest doing a 3rd coat. You may have to do a little bit of manipulation with the glitters and the flakies in here because sometimes they don't lie completely flat, or they do tend to bunch up in certain areas, especially when you start doing that 2nd or that 3rd coat. But overall, the formula was really nice and it applied really nicely. The second polish in the collection is called Case Full of Magical Creatures, and this is a little bit of a darker version of the first polish that I showed. The Case Full of Magical Creatures has a little bit less dustiness to it, so it is a little bit more of like a vibrant purple. There's also a lot more holographic glitter in A Case Full of Magical Creatures, so it kind of intensifies the polish a little bit more. This was fully opaque in 2 coats. Wonderful formula. Again, you may have to do a little bit of manipulation with those glitters. When you have a lot more going on in a polish like this has the holographic micro glitter and the flakies, you may have to do a little bit more manipulation because it'll tend to bunch up in certain places. One thing I did notice with this is that the base was a little bit thicker than all of the other polishes. I felt like I had to do a lot more manipulation with this particular polish. The other ones I really didn't feel like I had to do much, but this one in particular I did. The next polish in the collection is called NEWT, I Don't Think I'm Dreaming, and this is a gorgeous light baby blue polish with a whole bunch of iridescent glitters and flakies in there, but there's also a fine dusting of holographic glitter. This is probably one of the prettiest polishes I've ever seen. It's very dainty and very delicate. However, it isn't fully opaque even with 3 coats. I can still see my visible nail line. However, there's so much going on with this polish that it really distracts from the nail line. In particular, in the pictures, you may not be able to see my nail line with the pictures because no matter which way I moved around my hand or moved around my nail, those glitters really do catch the light and they really distract from your nail line. I hope that makes sense. This is a polish that if you are the type of person that doesn't really like sheer polishes and don't like seeing your nail line, you may want to lay down a base color underneath this, and I think it would just layer beautifully. You could probably layer this over a white or over a light baby blue. This one is definitely the sheerest out of the entire collection, but it is breathtaking. The next polish in the collection is I Think Your Egg Is Hatching, and this is an absolutely gorgeous polish. So it has like this metallic purple base with a whole bunch of like teal and green and blue glitters in there, and again there's also iridescent glitters in there as well. So this polish flashes between blue and green and purple, and then every so often you'll see a little bit of like kind of like a light gold flash to it. It's absolutely gorgeous. This polish was fully opaque in 2 coats. I didn't have any problems with the glitters not laying flat. I really didn't have to do any manipulation with this polish. The formula is absolutely gorgeous. I decided to do a 3rd coat to see if the base color would deepen up a little bit, and I really don't think you need a third coat. I think you can get this fully opaque and exactly the color that you see in the bottle in just 2 coats. Gorgeous polish. The next polish in the collection is definitely a standout polish. This one is called That's a BOWTRUCKLE Right. This is a very, very vibrant green. It's like a pretty much a neon green, but it also has a whole bunch of iridescent glitters in there, and those glitters have a very like orange glow to it, not necessarily that burnt red that you see in some of the other polishes. So it'll shift between green, yellow, and orange, and I just think the combination is so gorgeous. This is going to be a really fun color to wear in the summertime. I think the formula is absolutely divine. At first I thought this was going to be a sheer polish like the NEWT, the light baby blue polish, but it actually built up pretty nicely. I was able to get this fully opaque in 2 coats. Gorgeous formula, gorgeous color. It's just a really pretty polish. The next polish in the collection is called Swooping Evil, and this is a navy blue / purplish jelly base with a whole bunch of iridescent glitters, and there's both the green and purple iridescent glitters and the glitters that kind of give off that orangish reddish flash to it, and it's also jam-packed with holographic glitter or holographic shimmer. It is gorgeous. It really does remind me of galaxy nails. So there's also iridescent flakies in here as well. I feel like the flakies are much more apparent in this polish than some of the other polishes because it is such a dark base, but I think this polish is absolutely stunning. This was fully opaque in 2 coats. I did do a 3rd coat again to see if the color would deepen up, and I don't think a 3rd coat is necessary. This polish was fully opaque in 2 coats. The next polish is called Paws Off What Doesn't Belong to You, and this one is very similar to the other polish that I just talked about, but the base is a lot darker. I think this may be like a blackish brownish base, and this one has a lot more of those reddish orangish iridescent glitters in there. So it does have a little bit of like the greenish bluish flash to it. For the most part, you can see a lot more of those red and orange flash iridescent glitters in there. And this also has holographic shimmer in there. This again was fully opaque in 2 coats because it does have a darker base. I did have to do a little bit of manipulation with this one. This base was a little bit thicker, not as thick as the Magical Creatures polish, but it was still on the thicker side in comparison to the rest of the polishes. This next polish is probably one of my favorites in the entire collection, and this is called DOUGAL My DEMIGUISE, and I'm not sure exactly how to describe the composition of this polish. I don't think it's a silver holographic base. I think it's a clear base with a whole bunch of holographic shimmer in it, that it basically looks like a silver holographic polish. There's also holographic glitter in here, and there's iridescent glitter in here, and I also think that there's some silver metallic glitters in here as well. This polish is absolutely gorgeous. When I first saw it, I was worried that it wasn't going to build up in 3 coats. The first coat did apply pretty sheer, but by the time I got to the 2nd coat, it was just building up so beautifully. I did end up having to do a 3rd coat just to intensify this polish and get what you see in the bottle. You can get away with 2 coats if you want a little bit more of like that sheer and very dainty manicure, but 3 coats and this is just blinding. This polish is absolutely beautiful, and again, those iridescent glitters flash so many different colors that it just makes this polish so unique and so beautiful. The next polish in the collection is called Good Show Mr. KOWALSKI, and this is a gorgeous, gorgeous gray colored base with a whole bunch of iridescent glitters in there, and there's a very fine dusting of holographic micro glitter. Again, those iridescent colors are going to make this polish, you know, flash multiple colors. I feel like the red and orange flash is pretty dominant in this particular polish. I really enjoyed the formula of this. This was fully opaque in 2 to 3 coats. I did do a 3rd coat. I would suggest doing 3 coats with this one because it is such a light colored base. So if you want to get exactly what you see in the bottle, I would do 3 coats with this. But I really like this because I really don't own that many gray polishes. I think this is a very unique polish, and this is definitely one that's worth picking up from the collection. And the very last polish I have here is You Are Our Only Hope, Frank, and this is a really gorgeous polish. I believe it's a clear base that's essentially just jam-packed with iridescent glitters, iridescent flakies. There's holographic micro glitter in here, but there's also these like metallic flakies in there as well. It's just jam-packed with so much awesomeness. For the most part, this is going to build up kind of like one of those metallic flaky polishes. So this is going to be fully opaque on its own in 2 to 3 coats. You may want to try sponging this polish on, but I really didn't have any issues building this up in 2 to 3 coats. This has a very foiled looking finish, but those iridescent flakies just make this polish very unique. I really did enjoy this polish, and I feel like this is going to be a really nice polish to wear as an accent nail. So that's it. Those are the 10 polishes from the Magical Creatures collection. This collection is currently available on the Glam Polish website. Leave me a comment down below with any polishes that you're interested in picking up, or perhaps one of your favorites from the collection. Please don't forget to subscribe. I am currently posting 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!